Hey guys, MVC here for the Scan Pro Gaming tab for another video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Logitech C930e, Logitech's highest end webcam, 1080p, 30fps featuring that car Z lens geared toward the business user. And with that in mind, doesn't feature all of the adjustments that the more consumer grade level webcam, the webcam that potentially me or you would use actually, the C920 has. So for example, if I do this and come back to me, you see we've got some kind of automatic backlight / gain adjustment. Now that cannot be disabled, and the more of that it does, the lower frame per second it's going to output, generally speaking. So unless you've got a well-lit room already, you'll be looking toward the C920. But hopefully we're going to look at the two, compare the two feature sets on the two webcams and decide for you which one you should be going for. So we're going to jump into a product overview, have a look at its use in OBS, the free software allowing you to stream your gameplay to Twitch TV, before jumping into my final thoughts, feelings and conclusions right at the end. So hope you enjoy the video and we'll catch you at the end. The Logitech C930e is a business grade webcam supporting Windows 7, 8 and macOS 10.7 or higher. It's a full HD 1080p 30fps webcam with up to 4x zoom and a car Z lens for extremely clear image quality. Now, one of its biggest selling points is its 90-degree field of view, a huge step up from the C920, and on top of that comes with autofocus, built-in dual stereo mics, and Right Light 2 technology, which, although does provide a clear image in a variety of lighting environments, including low light, cannot be disabled, which is something we'll get into shortly. Now, on the underside of the webcam, we do find the tripod-ready universal clip fitting laptops or your monitor, and in the box we do get an external privacy shutter and 3-year warranty. So test number one is going to be the FOV difference. Look at Toothless over here and look at the webcam box on the bed. This is currently the C930e and I'm swapping over to the C920. And here we are on the C920, a lot more zoomed in and claustrophobic, but you could get the same effect if you were to place it further behind the monitor, maybe on a tripod, because they both have the mounts on the base. However, I was expecting the difference just horizontally, but it's actually the vertical one that surprised me the most. Anyway, let's have a look at the software. So next, quickly running through the Logitech camera settings bundled with it, a little bit feature limited compared to the C920, and something we won't get into with the C920 is that if you download the full suite, you can also video capture from it, whereas with the C930e, you will have to download third-party software like OBS that we're using now to capture what you're seeing on the screen. But this is what you're greeted with. In here we can zoom in quite far, and once you've zoomed in, you can pan around like so. You can also manually focus, so if we do this, drag it all the way to the right and get my little Pac-Man figure. As you can see here, it's very, very crisp. It's actually quite impressive, to be honest, from a webcam. But on top of that, just if we click autofocus again and go into advanced, we've got brightness, contrast, color intensity and white balance here, as you can see. Hit that back on auto, we've got color intensity all the way to grayscale. We've also got contrast, again, we could go further, and brightness. Again, could go further. So very much impressed, apart from the fact that there's no Right Light 2 technology disable button. And again, swapping over to the C920 now, I'll show you where that is on that. Again, here on the C920, probably need to move this way, we're so zoomed in compared to the 930e. But regardless, this is the camera settings. Now we could download the full webcam software suite, enable video capture and recording, but we're not going to bother with that since this is a C930e review. But what I want to talk about and what's lacking on the 930e is, although this part is the same, the zoom, the pan, the autofocus, the manual focus, under advanced settings, if we just quickly disable white balance, we actually have the ability to disable right light and disable the automatic gain if we quickly tab back in. So what this means is when I do this, the lighting is not changing, which is great because it means you can add your preferred amount of exposure and gain, which means that, just worst case example, if I was to do this and move around, you can see the frame rate is lower. This is kind of the effect that Right Light 2 will give beyond a certain point. Now, whilst Right Light 2 is a little bit better implemented than Right Light 1 technology when it's automatically enabled here, it still is a bit of a pain because you're always going to get the constant adjustment when you're flailing your arms around on the C930e, whereas you can disable it on this and just set a specific amount. And that's what I like, and this is where it's probably going to sway you from one to the other. Our next test is audio. We're currently recording the microphone from the C930e at 90%. It's about a foot away on top of my monitor, and this is how it sounds. But over to the C920. And now talking into the C920, it's about a foot away, volume's at 90%, and right sound is currently enabled. But if we disable it, This is how it currently sounds. Again, 90%, again about a foot away. And I'm sure you'll agree, neither microphone on the C930e or the C920 you're really going to be wanting to take advantage of. Make sure you use a headset mic or an external USB condenser if you're serious. And for a final test, we've closed the blinds. It's relatively dark in here, not pitch black of course, but the C930e is making use of white light technology too to dynamically alter the gain. And as you can see, the frame rate is definitely lower. So whilst it's doing a very good job of keeping it bright, and to be honest, this will probably be okay at 99% of people that use it, it's still kind of annoying if your gameplay was 30 or 60 FPS and then you're here chopping around, and not only that, but you may be flailing and it's continually altering the backlight. Not ideal really, whereas on the C920, if we swap over to that, then even though with white light technology on the C920 enabled we're still very choppy, what we can do is go into the window capture and disable white light, and then look at it now, way smoother already. And we can go a step further, we can turn off the auto white balance, we can turn off the gain, now we do it even smoother, and we can turn down this a little bit, turn down this a little bit, and this would be fine for a gameplay stream. I just wish this setting was on the C930e, the ability to adjust that, and then it would be the perfect webcam. But as it stands, some of you out there that's occasionally gaming this lighting, you might want to be able to turn it off to make it look like this, as opposed to like this with bright light. So yeah, that's that. So final thoughts then for the Logitech C930e. Well, they kind of already answered it on their website. It is geared toward the more business end user. You don't get the same software bundled with it. If you want to record, you need external third-party software like OBS, or just go directly into Skype. That will work fine. But for me, you don't necessarily need to be in an office environment. It does get its use at home. It's just you need to guarantee yourself, in my opinion, a well-lit environment. Because even though it's got Bright Light 2 technology and it does a good job in dark and light rooms, when it starts to do that adjustment, flailing your arms around, it starts flickering, it's a little bit annoying. And not only that, but the more it does, the lower frame rate you get. So whilst it is a step up from the C920, I just like to be able to turn it off. So I kind of see the C930e as all your eggs in one basket webcam. If you can guarantee yourself good lighting behind the screen, on the roof, or just daylight, which depending on the time of year, sort of 9 till 6 p.m, then great, go for the C930e. The increased FFE is fantastic. I was expecting just horizontal, but the vertical aspect actually surprised me. Color reproduction is better, it's a lot sharper, although the difference is minimal unless you've got them both side by side. And the autofocus is a lot quicker, and after the autofocus, thanks to Bright Light 2 technology as well, the image quality is just amazing. But if you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, or maybe you can't guarantee yourself a well-lit room, or you're just not sure, the C920 presents the safer bet. And up until the C930e, the C920 is best in class on market by a long way. Now that's not to say that these two webcams are perfect. I mean, firstly, again, being unable to disable that technology is kind of annoying, but secondly, I think we're about at the time where 60 FPS should be becoming standard. So I'd like to see in the next iteration of a Logitech webcam 60 FPS, because I honestly think these cameras are unbeatable. And if you combine the two aspects plus 60 FPS, we could be en route for the ultimate webcam. But right now it's kind of a stepping stone, and I think you're going to be happy with either one. It just comes down to your needs really. So if you can deal, C930e. If you can't, or you don't want to risk it, C920. You're not going to be disappointed with any of them. But I've been MVC here for the Scan Pro Gaming Tab. If you are in the market, check it out, scan.co.uk. It is available to buy today. But for now, we'll catch you next time. Take care.